Good morning, VC. This is just a quick video. It's an entry into Brian's Vinyl Records 100 Subs competition. I didn't come across this competition until just recently. I don't know how I missed it, because I usually watch most of Brian's videos, but I missed it for some reason. And it was only from his live update that he did the other day that I realised that I'd missed it. So I went back, had a look at it, and it's all surrounding the subject of music from our childhood. So I thought I would jump in on this one. The closing date for Brian's competition is September the 30th, and you can upload a video before then, and it can be vinyl records, CDs, cassettes, whatever media you choose, and it's got to be music from our childhood. Now, we broke it down into starting with grade school. Now, I didn't know what age. Obviously the American schooling system's a bit different to what we have over here in the UK, so I didn't know what grade school ages were, but from what I can gather on the interweb, grade school is from 1st to 5th grade, which is what Brian was saying would be the first group, and that would be ages 6 to 11. And then middle school, from Brian stipulated from grade 6 to grade 8, which would be about aged 11 to 14. And then high school would be aged 14 to 16 or 17, from what I could gather. And then college, which would be 17 onwards, age 17 onwards, that is. So I've selected some some media. It's not all records, there is some CDs in my collection. And the first two weren't actually my albums, but I was subjected to them from my parents. So I heard them quite a lot, probably from the age 6, 7, 8. So the first one is Elvis Presley, Moody Blue. This is on the RCA label. And it wasn't actually, my father had it on tape, so every time we got in the car, we'd have this, either this one or the next album, which I'm about to show you. So yeah, early introduction to music from my parents. Elvis Presley, Moody Blue. And the next one of my father's favourites, Boney M. And like I say, every time we went anywhere in the car, we were subjected to a cassette of this, and it kind of sticks with you. When you hear music constantly as a child, you kind of carry it through. You know, whenever you hear it again in later life, it always brings back those memories of jumping in my father's old Ford Cortina and going off out on a trip. Probably round about aged 10, 11, I was starting to get into music myself, and one of the artists which I enjoyed and still do, David Bowie. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. That's not the record that I had back then. This is a replacement for it. And the next one, again, was possibly part of my parents'. Sorry, we're on to middle school now, which is age 6 to 8th grade, which was age 11 to 14. Grease, again introduced to it by my parents, but there was a lot of the tracks off this album which were released as singles, so you used to hear them on the radio. And I remember when I was at what you would call middle school, but coming to the end of what we call here primary school, we put on a little bit of a show in the playground for one of our teachers, singing some of the songs from this, which was quite funny. Right at the beginning of high school, I was into Adam and the Ants, Prince Charming. Now, there was another Adam and the Ants album which I had, which I don't have now. Dirk Wears White Socks. They both got played, but I think this one was probably the one that got most of the play. So yeah, Adam and the Ants. I can't say that I used to dress like this guy. Where are we? Okie doke. Just moving on to high school, what you would call high school, what we call here in the UK secondary school. Now, high school in the US, from what I can gather on the internet, is 14 to 17, but here it would be 11 to 15. But this was another one which was played a lot. Billy Joel, Innocent Man. I'll have to play this album again. It's been a while. Okay, now CD. This is one that has been played and played and played. Red Strikes Back by Elton John. This again used to get played in the car as well as at home. Now, moving on to college. So this is after I'd left secondary school at the age of 15 and started at college. Dire Straits, Alchemy. This was never off. I'd go out cruising around in the car with my my college buddies, and Romeo and Juliet and Once Upon a Time in the West. These were just never off. Tunnel of Love, Telegraph Road, Solid Rock, bit of Dire Straits. Even now when any of these tracks comes on, it just takes me right back to cruising around with my college pals. Another one that was never off, Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. Another one that I've not played in a long time, and maybe I should give it a spin. Next up, another classic one from college, Meatloaf. Bat Out of Hell. This is another album that was never off. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet on the Vertigo label. And finally, Ozzy Osbourne, Ultimate Sin. Cracking artwork on this album. And that, my friends, is my music from my childhood. Thanks, Brian, for running this competition. I'm really glad that I managed to find the time to jump in and put an entry in. Congratulations on the 100 subscribers. We're obviously, subscriber wise, we're about at the same pace, I think. So that's my entry. Again, good luck, Brian. Congratulations, and I will drop you a message to let you know that I have entered. Thanks for watching. Bye.